Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. Today is an episode on the eve of anniversary stream, which means we will be irrelevant approximately 18 hours from now. But anyways, we're still recording an episode for you. And today with me is Dream and Sinzar. Say hi, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
We figured we skipped Newsday for these units already, so we'd feel too bad for skipping them twice, even if they don't really deserve it.
If you guys actually did Newsday, we probably didn't need to do podcasts today. But because Dream and Barrows and Sinzar decided to skip Newsday, here I am trying to salvage something up. Shadow to rescue the day.
Newsday's too late for me at night now, so this one's on Barrows.
I feel like this blame is misplaced.
Listen, if something doesn't work out on FFBE, leave a comment on Sinzar's video, and that's probably where the blame really lies, Sinzar.
Oh no.
But today we have exciting banners, right, guys?
We have some wonderful, very relevant Season 4 schmucks.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know any of these guys.
The banner's pretty terrible, but it's kind of good that it's coming out, because even if it was like a great banner, would you really pull, as you mentioned, the day before anniversary?
Yeah. It's kind of nice to have a savings week, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Especially for people that pulled in the last month. Like, I think Dragon Quest was a pretty big pull for a lot of people. FF2 was obviously for Ricard. Many people pulled. And even before that, we had things like Kaito, right? So it's like 4 weeks straight of like...
quite intensive.
Yeah. Draining our lapises.
Yeah,
but,
Kaito bankrupted me, and I'm still just starting to recover now.
Always use that credit card, Dream. Always use that credit card.
Never. I will stick to my principles.
Okay, so today we have exciting units such as Yish and Ilmatel and what was the other guy? Kall. Yeah?
Kall,
yeah, I think that's it. And then Sid NVA.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I guess we can talk about Yish first. And this is one that I was kind of looking forward to at one point, but then
at one point.
a certain somebody I think kind of just made her irrelevant for me. No, wait. Is she the ice girl?
She is.
Or is that... Yeah, she's the ice girl. Because like
she's the ice girl, but Kall is the ice guy.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, okay. So this banner, when it first released in JP, the only reason I was interested is because ice. And ice is my favorite element. Like, just in most fantasy games. So I was like, oh, cool, maybe I can make an ice team again. But then Frivia walked along and said, fuck you guys, I'm a thing. So that's what happened.
Fair.
Yeah, is there anything else we need to know about them except that Frivia basically made them irrelevant?
Yes.
Well, she doesn't fill the exact same role as Frivia because she doesn't have any of like the imbue stuff, but she's basically the ice clone of Laguna and Tulian, where they have 145 in peril, 87 breaks, and a 35 weapon in peril. But it's a bit awkward because since Emperor was early, we've already kind of started getting the next series of breakers who have better breaks and imperils. So it's a bit awkward for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Since you were going to say something?
I was going to say Frevia is going to be a better choice like 95% of the time. The only thing this one does slightly better is a 10% higher ice in peril, which may or may not matter depending on the fight. Like some future trials, that could be a big deal. But this one does spear in peril, Frevia does sword. Other than that, if you have Frevia, go with her instead.
Yeah, because she does all the massive amps she's got, plus better breaks, though not permanently because of hers are on Grandis, and then also just much better damage.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be doing very little.
Yeah, and their cards are shit too.
Card is garbage. It's another one of the breaker cards like Regan and Axstar that only have 70 base stat, lots of LB damage, but for breakers only. It's pretty bad. The one thing that people might care about is her spear. Her STMR spear is two-handed and has both high attack and magic. So TDH Roberta builds for base form might like it, but TDH isn't really a big upgrade on Roberta anyway because her own STMRs give her so much flat stats as well.
It also has two I mean, it has two killers on it too, right? Bug killer and dragon killer,
Eh,
which is
I
not
guess
not to scoff at, especially if you're trying to equip a dragoon. This could be
that's fair.
a decent alternative. A 210 attack spear is very good, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a decent weapon. Like, if you pull her off banner, there's a good chance you might want to STMR Moogle it, but other than that, it's not really something to chase unless, you're a whale and you want everything.
yeah. Even myself, who love ice as an element, there's no reason for me to chase her anymore, or Kall for that matter. So
Pretty safe skip.
yeah. We were talking about Yish, yeah, but Yish is a outdated breaker. Kall is an outdated damage dealer. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, pretty much. He's kind of like a weaker version of Baron's base form with using like a fixed hybrid attack as his big hit, but significantly lower mod. It's like 1950 versus 2400, and he has a significantly lower stats when fully built up.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just
But he's also
So yeah,
he's kind of like Yish in that he's an STMR stick again, as in his STMR is a katana with 190 attack or 232 magic. We don't have a big use for magic katanas yet, but in the hypothetical future that we can, I mean,
yeah, this is kind of the beginning of a spam of a bunch of two-handed magic weapon STMRs of various weapon types, now that they have variants. But for this one in particular, like, the Chronicle upgraded True Purple Lightning isn't even that much worse. Like, it's only 180 attack and magic, but it's still like serviceable if you really need a magic katana.
yeah, and even for Laswell, he wants his own katana because of the flat stats, anyways.
Yeah.
So
Not that he has any relevancy with his crowns being so delayed/skipped.
oh,
yeah. This one is one I just can't really recommend because it's a magical katana, and while that would work on a team with like Kaito, he does the big imperil. It's just like you're gonna have to force katanas on every mage that matters, and that can be done, but there's just better ways to do it without this.
Yeah.
his card's also trash, like very next tier trash.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
JP did a lot of like non-premium cards being pretty terrible in
The
this
thing-
era.
the thing about Yshe and Kall is that they also have separate cards. Like usually these idiots have, these low tier units have the same cards and they just share it.
I'm
But Yshe and
surprised
Kall
they
are
don't.
actually have different cards, which boggles my
looks
mind.
like Kall and Ilmatel share one, so I guess they decided that 3 units sharing one card was too much.
I guess so. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sinzar, isn't in JP that when you pull a unit you get a random vision card?
Yes, when you pull it, you get a completely random card other than premiums, and then at EX3, you'll get the card guaranteed. But the random card you get when pulling, it's a 50% chance to be that unit's card. So it's a 50-50, either that card or any card in the pool, non-premium, non-limited.
Interesting. So there's a 50
But no
every
EX1
NV. There's a
cards.
50% chance I get this card. I mean, any chance that I get this card from any NV. That sucks.
Not specifically because, well, yes, because the card is bad, but it's not really any different on Global because Global, like, you're going to get another Scorpion card. I've got 442 of those at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's fair.
The random
That's fair.
cards are so pointless in GL.
Yeah, that is so
But
fair.
I do kind of like them. The guaranteed ones at EX1
Yes.
are good. So I
Yeah.
think overall card system is like pretty even.
I would actually say the card system is way superior on Global because the card at EX1 just doesn't exist on JP. There is no bonus for EX1. It's just when you pull and then EX3. Global has the garbage card when you pull, the card at EX1 guaranteed, and then, of course, the EX3 as well.
To be fair, your perspective is having a fair bit more resources to pull on more banners with good cards.
Oh, well, I guess that is true. I guess that is true if you're looking for like some of the. But then again, Global does do the card tokens, so you can mostly the older ones.
Yeah, that's true. When they actually update the shop.
So the brand.
But
When they actually
I would
update
say
that
the
shop,
global
I had this conversation.
Global card system is a bit better.
Yeah, I completely agree with Dream there. But sorry, what I was going to say is that when on the topic of updating the card shop, if they ever update that card shop, Ricard's card is going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, it'll be very nice to have that in there.
Yeah. There's actually quite a few really nice cards in there. Like Oliveira's card was pretty good for a while.
They did one update for it, and that was quite nice.
Kaito's card is pretty
Hopefully
good, and so is
see
FFBE. So there's that.
Oh yeah, if those get added, those are both nice.
Yep.
Just because they have widely applicable flat stats.
The next unit this week is Ilmatel. She's probably the best of the three.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
she has the most niche, but she's still like it's a very narrow kit still. Like,
yeah, like in a
say
pile
she
of
was
shit,
good.
you're just looking at less shit. I imagine.
Yeah.
So
Basically, her entire existence boils down to 3 250% killer buffs for one ally.
It's that Rick and Morty meme. What is my purpose? Your purpose is to give 3 250% killers. But she's the start, right? There's more units coming in the future with 250% killers now.
Yeah.
There's one or two others. I know Ihana does, but I don't actually remember seeing any
Ash
others.
from Final Fantasy 12.
Ah, right, that she does.
Which I will pull
there's a
by
couple more
mortgaging
of
my
these.
house. Okay. What principles? Her STMR is also really, I guess, interesting because it has so bunch of killers on it.
I mean, I don't know. I was considering that like when I saw it from JP. I'm like, on global, I can't wait to hopefully get this. But now that I think about it, like Dragon and Insect, like Roberta is so god tier. I can't see her being on the bench anytime soon, and she does these better. And then Human Killer is just whatever. So
Okay, counterpoint, Roberta has an ugly sprite and I refuse to use her. So, I mean...
Hey Shadow, we know you're wrong and have bad opinions. Let's move on.
But isn't it... How much percent is the active killers on the STM?
100.
The one on the STM are just 150.
And it's
it's
only 2 turns. It's also single target, and it can't be multicasted except by Ilmatel herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, like Roberta's are just much better for all of those. Or 2 of them. And heck, bring Ling for the third one.
Oh! I should mention.
She's still okay.
The STMR can only be equipped by healers. By the way, you can't even give it to like regular units.
Okay, it's healer. I was thinking it was buffer, but yeah, if it's healer, that's much more restrictive.
Mm-hmm. It's
because we don't have many healers.
But are
I guess like
anybody with a
it would be handy on Kresnik, but other than that,
Chow would be
Kresnik, Chow are the
yeah.
2 top ones that I can think of.
Chow has healer tag. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's definitely the best of the shit. I mean, I feel like this is one of those weeks where in JP every week every month there's at least 1 or 2 banners where it's just to pad the NV pool so that when you get an NV, there's a chance of getting a shit unit instead of something good like COG. So this one,
the majority of non-premium JP banners.
Yeah, I was about to say every month, more like 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 per month in JP.
Yeah, that's true. In GL, we have it with at least 2. We get the premium banners and the GL EX banners. So that
Yeah, we tend to get about 2 good banners a month.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the Sid NVA, which is
NVA Sid, aka Bad Recovered.
That's the perfect description.
Somebody said that if you give him all the good Dragoon gear, he can be good. But then that begs the question: what are you doing with all the good Dragoon gear on Sid?
Yeah.
So.
If you have Ricard, use Ricard.
Yeah, like
because he's Windlock Dragoon, not great attack, and his mod without gear boosts is only 200, which is lower than Kane and Ricard's by a decent chunk.
Yeah, the one thing
Does he still take 2 turns as well, just like Kane Ricard?
It's such a got the setup and all. The one place I could see using him for players that do have that kind of gear is like, for example, on like a wind weak physical sub boss, and you want to bring like literally all the Dragoons. So you'd bring Sky, Ricard, Sid, and Roberta, and like you can do a 4 Dragoon team, and that'd still be very strong, assuming you can gear the whole team properly, which is like 4 sets of Ricard gear. That's like heavy whale, and at that point, they don't need help anyway because they're going to use like premiums like Esther. But it's a nice idea.
Like, even specifically for Windlocked Dragoon, he's like 3rd place in that very niche category.
Well, it's a very niche and crowded category because there's like at least 2 of them right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's Ricard, Sky, him.
Yeah. In a weird way, I think wind has become a very cheap and strong element because all the wind damage dealers aren't premium. Like Sky and Ricard's Lock to
And
Win,
Arin.
and then Arin. Well, Arin is. I guess
Arin's
there's
premium.
Arin. I completely forgot
And-
about Arin. Now that you mentioned, but like
Yeah.
the two dragoons that there are, Sky and Ricard, would probably carry you in most like clears. I don't think they would get you in top 100 or something, but at least
So-
wind is a cheaper element than light or
and
lightning.
most people have Bulwark now at this point, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or at least most veterans.
I think the most popular
Been
elements
playing
right
for
now
like a
are
year.
probably lightning, light, maybe fire, but of them, wind seems to be the easiest. Maybe fire is still easier. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire still has a lot of support. I think water is getting quite a big surge soon.
Oh, FF10.
FF10 and also potentially, if we actually get them, Nicole's crowns.
Yeah. Wasn't Balthier also kind of water? Or no, that was his break base.
Yeah, Balthier is technically innate water, but he's not very strongly locked to it.
Yep. So yeah, water's definitely coming up, but I'm glad that like Alim noticed at a certain point, hey, like we don't only have two elements in our hands, and it feels like Gumi's Global GL's the only one that knows that ice is an element, or so.
On the other hand, both of them still usually seem to say "fuck dark."
Which is fair. I think my theory with Dark is that they release Sephiroth and they're like, if we release any support for this guy, we're kind of due. So they just stop doing that at a certain point.
Even though he's not that amazing anymore. Sorry, Sins.
Well, he does get a boost pretty soon.
That's true. But so do like a lot of people.
Dream, the killer of dreams.
It's okay. We'll let Sinzar cope a bit longer.
But speaking of coping and hoping, tomorrow is actually a special day for GL, and it's GL anniversary stream. And I thought, on the eve of that night, we want to get our wish list / expectations. Oh wait,
Shadow.
I forgot.
Are we just skipping Death Machine like Gumi did for 2 months?
Hey, to be fair, Gumi didn't release a trial for like 6 months. We all forgot what a trial was. So,
Some of us never forget.
Sinzar, remind us what a trial is.
Death Machine.
And how do we rank in this trial? How do I get rank 1 in this trial?
Death Machine is actually, it's a decent trial as far as, challenge level. It's pretty hard. You need, like, the good units. This is speaking strictly from the global release of it. So we're not even going to talk about the meta at the time of JP. So on global, it's a decently hard trial. I would rank it not as term as good design, but in terms of challenge. Like, it's a little bit easier than, like, getting rank 1 in, like, Clash of Wills. Because you still need very meta units and DPS units to get the all mission clear in. So as far as challenge level, it's pretty on the mark. In terms of...
Yeah. Certainly a bit toothier than the previous 3 12 race trials that kind of just didn't
for
do
sure,
much.
absolutely. Yeah, the first 3 are like just complete garbage. They were just wasted times. This one's a decent challenge. Now, that being said, the design of the trial is, in my opinion, terrible because of the whole...
Yeah,
It's such a gimmick. It's a pure and total gimmick trial, and I don't like that. I prefer the classic, bulk up your tank, mitigate the damage, and take it, then use your healer and heal the party, and use buffs and buffers. I love that kind of trial. This is just pure gimmick, and it's terrible.
Yeah, so basically the trial goes that your tank will probably die and you'll have to re-raise yourself. And your party will probably die and you'll have to re-raise it. Unless you stack guts, and then you can probably survive quite a bit. So,
well, even then you'll still be re-raising every so often.
Yeah.
Because, there's various hits of AoE 200k and single target 300k fixed damage just being spammed out.
exactly.
But yeah, with the re-raise spam, it's like honestly not too bad. You just need to basically use damage that
Doesn't stack.
isn't hurt too much by dying,
Yeah.
and can kind of reset up fairly quickly.
And, okay,
And then just provoke, break, spam re-raise, and you're generally pretty safe.
as a question, because I didn't do the trial yet. Fields stay up even after you die, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yes. Because they're not tied to a single unit.
Yeah. Okay.
So at the current time, I have personally not but I haven't really been looking either. Has anyone done a 15 turn clear, an all mission clear? So 5 units, 15 turns or less, without Esther on the party. Have y'all seen that yet?
Not that I've seen.
I haven't either.
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either.
I haven't either. It's only the first day, and like I said, I have not been going all around. I'm very sure someone may have, and I just haven't seen it. But it's kind of amusing that if we took Esther away from the options for this trial, we'd basically be kind of in the same boat as JP, where I was kind of like, raging how bad the trial was, because in JP, there were like no options to do this trial. The only people that really did it in JP and the turn limit on release was people using Lord of Light, which isn't even a unit on global. So Esther is like really our savior for this trial.
But yeah. I still think there is some world where a double Baron setup gets it done, at least with a 6-man clear for some more support. But it's certainly going to be a lot harder.
But you don't have to do all the missions at once. You can just do one and then do the next.
No,
you don't
not
have to.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But even when ignoring the other missions, getting the 15 turns without Esther is going to be challenging.
Yeah.
And that's going to be sort of a thing for most of the upcoming 12 race trials, where the main challenge is doing enough damage for the 15 turns.
I saw that Sinzar did it in 1 turn. No, sorry, that was something else. It's Proto Omega. Sorry. My bad.
I was going to say, hold on.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound quite
that,
right.
That being said, you can turn 1 OTK the trial. I think Deuce did it, or Deus did it in JP, using a Regina. So that is like really far into the future with power creep. But eventually.
That new Regina is pretty cracked, though, so...
She's one of those ones that where, like, you use the entire rest of the party to boost her damage.
So Sinzar's favorite type of unit. Got it.
It's like, I guess, just like Golden Riser.
Dream's best. See, I think for Golden Riser, Dream should get an award from Goomy or something this anniversary. That has been the highlight of FFB in the last like 6 years. So, just giving you a shout out.
It's interesting how like a lot of people have like flipped within a couple months from wow, this is really cool to I hate this, and they're just salty and mad.
Okay.
Riser did nothing wrong.
Riser is GOAT. Okay. Now, that's Death Machine, and it's our first difficult trial in like years. I think like it's probably.
But yeah.
The last difficult trial that we probably had was probably sometime during like I don't know. Asura. Asura was probably the last hard one that we ever had.
Yeah, she was a decent challenge.
Asura.
Yeah, this is what happened when JP was bitching too hard, so Aelin never gave us a hard trial anymore. So
yeah, pretty much. But no, I think just quickly, because I think like the team I used is quite easy to like swap out a lot of units for budget options, other than Esther, of course. So basically, had the double Esther for damage. Obviously, there's not too many substitutions for that, but power creep will happen. And then basically, it was just any AoE lightning imbue spammer, because hers doesn't come up that often. So I use Sakura, but even like 7-star Sylvie would work in this slot. And then any breaker. So I had Kaito, who can also contribute to damage, but I didn't really do that. And pretty much any breaker will work here. And I also had that be my provoke slot, but I think the Thunder Imbue would also work. And then just the AoE re-raise spammer. And I used Tiana, but I think even like 4-star Riku with the LB build would work.
okay, so somebody's explained the LP build. Her LB gives re-raise to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, old 4-star Riku.
It's important to keep her literally at 4-star, even though it's not her max rarity, because at 4-star, her LB gauge is 12 crystals large, which is the max you can do from auto regen. That way, there's no RNG. If you did it like her 6-star form, I think it goes to 20, so you'd have to rely on RNG to get crystals per turn, and that can easily fail. So keep her at 4-star for the strategy.
Okay, so basically you need
But
Imbue, Breaker, Tank, 2 DPS, and re-raise.
Yeah. Well, not even like tank,
Yeah,
just
so-
provoker. So this is just 3 support slots, and then basically just gear everyone with evade, and I just had 1 stack of guts.
Pretty
on
much, yeah.
everyone.
That's the basic template for the clear. Today I actually did a quick clear using like a bunch of units that were powerful, but then I did a re-clear, kind of similar to Dream said, the basic outline. So you've got your 2 Esters, which are just the mainstays, and then I used, like I said, there you go, 4-star Riku. For the re-raise, and then I used Sylvie, 7-star, just to re-imbue, and then I used Shoreline, Thena, and Daisy as just a really generic magic cover tank. And the reason for the magic cover tank is, in Phase 1, the boss does AoE magic, and if your units are extremely squishy, for example, 4-star Riku, they can die twice on the turn, so a magic cover tank makes it more consistent, but it's not technically required.
I might just mooch off those ideas. Just take Chow, Riku, the 2 Esters.
Not too complicated to set up. Just a basic team for it.
Yeah. It's just the 5 turn. The struggle I had when I was building the thing. To be fair, I haven't done it for long. It's the 5 time limit. Like I couldn't fit in a breaker and an imbuer every turn, so I was like struggling with that one.
That's why Esther is really good, because she breaks 87%, which is all you really need.
It is like for the early turns where you've got that AoE magic and stuff coming in, having a good attack or good magic break can help you not need that magic tank and stuff as well to minimize the damage from that. So that's an alternative, but yeah, if you've got another way to deal with that.
Isn't Esther's breaks on a cooldown?
No, it's just on her chaining skill.
Oh.
It's just, but it's defense only is the thing.
Well, wait, but you need to break attack mag, don't you?
Well, the attack
Kind
you're
of.
evading anyway, so that's not important. Like Dream said, the magic, you can either break the magic and then just, the magic won't really kill you, or you can do like I did and bring a magic tank, and without breaking magic, the magic will slaughter your tank, but it covers the party, so who cares?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, you want either magic break or magic cover, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Death Machine. And I guess, like, just thinking about what you said about the 5-party limit being annoying for you, I was sort of starting to think about the next one in the series earlier today, which is Gloomwing, because that requires a bit more of a conventional setup. You need, like, a cover tank that's bulky, and a provoker, and then breaks, and a bit of healing and stuff. So yeah, I was thinking about that, and kind of running into issues with the 5 slot, but I think with 6 slot, I'll have a decent chance of the 15 turns with my current units.
Which, just out of curiosity, which DPS unit are you considering currently? You going with Esther?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with double Esther, because she's definitely my best sustained output, and can be elementally flexible, but I just have to bring probably Bulwark for that one, because it's wind or ice, and I don't have Frivia.
I have not actually considered my team for Gloomwing yet, so I'm not even sure.
But yeah, I think I'm currently looking for 6-man at running
you mean
like
Gloomwing in like
Chow,
6
Ronda.
months?
I hope not.
Yeah, we'll see. Because like Death Machine's delay is also applied to everything after Death Machine, if that makes sense. So it's like, hopefully they don't need to add any more.
I see.
But we will see. It's Gumi after all.
Well, Gumi after all is going to serve us up with the anniversary tomorrow. I guess we can finally talk about that.
Yes.
Do we have any wish lists? Like, what do you want to happen? Like, what?
I think I'm not looking for anything too specific, but I want something that's more than just like regular banners and content and free stuff. Like, I want some form of actual new mechanic or new form of content that's
So like Kall?
actually
Because
feels
last year
different.
they released Kall, right? I think last year was Kall during anniversary.
Yeah, something similar to that, I guess. Or like quality of life stuff brought forward. Like, if they at least announce the UI update, that'd be nice. Or like if they create some new like enhancement system or something, I don't know.
What about you?
In general, it would also just be nice to see love for some old global exclusive indies.
That's so true. I do wish that Ling and Louis got EX upgrades or something, or crowns, even.
Something, yeah.
What about you, Sinzar? What do you have a specific wish list, or in general?
For me, the most important thing I'm really hoping for Anniversary is Chocobo slots. I can't wait to spend Chocobo slots.
Okay, whoever's listening to me, he's not serious. Please.
But no, for me, I would love global exclusive trials to come back. For example, Rumble of Malboro, Echidna. We had a few of them in the early days. The Telfusanas, I'd even classify that as a trial. They're really good at global exclusive trials. And I know Clash of Wills is kind of, you get one per month, Clash of Wills. And yes, true, Clash of Wills is great. But I think it'd be great to get some permanent global exclusive trials as well. That'd be really nice.
Well, speaking of
go for it.
Clash and Telfusanas, I guess one idea that's been floated around many a time has been like a permanent version of those bosses that are hopefully more bulky, but otherwise have those mechanics. So that'd be nice to see. But that's
and I think the proposed theory was that we should get all the previous Kall bosses into Chamber of Vengeance with the whole do it with 50 different teams. And I think that would be fantastic.
I don't really like the 50 teams grind.
Really? I love that one.
For me, I mean...
I feel like
you said that, and immediately I'm like, there's no way you can't do it. Because, the Clash bosses had, 8 viable units per Clash boss. But if the goal is just to win and not to, 2.5 billion... That's a lot more realistic, and it could be a good long-term goal. I mean, I realize it's tedious, and it is tedious, and I usually spend my time trying to find ways to cheese it so I can just get through it. But it would be a way to have something long-term to work on, as long as you don't expect to go in there and do 50 clears on day one. It could be good.
Yeah.
The annoying thing is just that the only other way it it's a nice idea, but the way it actually pans out is you get a consistent clear that you only uses 4 or 5 units, and then you just rotate 1 or 2 useless slots in.
What?
And do the same clear
No,
over
that's
and over.
definitely true of how it actually happens, but I think the intended use of Chamber of Vengeance at the time was that, if you don't have enough units to clear, you'll come back, a week or 2 later, or a month or 2 later, and with new units you'll do it. But the inherent issue, at the time with 7 stars, was that 2 months later there would be a new damage dealer that would make the previous Chamber of Vengeance a cakewalk. But I think with NV, the power creep was slowed down compared to the 7-star era. Now, I know, it might sound absurd, but, think about Sephiroth. As soon as the premium units started coming out, the premium units have held on to that top damage spots for so long. And I think with the rate that JP is going, we could probably see another Chamber of Vengeance, and for 6 months down the line, it'd still be relevant for most damage dealers to do it in the intended amount of term versus just steamrolling it and making it so easy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So... But that's my wish list, to get a Chamber of Vengeance thing back, or maybe this is a huge stretch. Maybe we get the 10-man trials, but instead of the 10, we'll get we'll get them again, because I love the mechanic of switching.
Well, that's supposed to be what JP is starting on now. That their 12 races.
They actually said they confirmed that the 12 races are starting again in late summer, which basically means August. So I feel like Global is not going to do that, just because that would very directly contradict the upcoming JP content. So
that sucks.
But the idea of still getting that eventually is still nice, even if the current trial design is...
Yeah. Oh, what they could do is global exclusive 10-mans. That way it won't interfere when they bring the new 10-man of Dabi over. They could do just a global exclusive version. That'd be great.
Yeah, and essentially 10-mans now with
Could
Brave
be, yeah.
Shift would probably mean, instead of essentially 20 units you'll be bringing. So I mean, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun
I know,
for
right?
that.
Gosh, we needed better gear. I wish the search box. I mean, I'm glad that we have the search box, but I wish the search box could search things like keywords in the descriptions. I think that would make it so much easier.
Don't complain about Brave Exvia's gearing system. When players complain about the gearing system, The dev solution was to give us the naked tower event, and that was the worst thing ever.
Oh dear.
We never got that in GL.
Thank God.
So I know.
Thank God.
I have no idea
that.
what that is.
It was an event where you had to clear a bunch of dungeons in a row, like a boss rush, and you had to use literally naked units. Your units were naked. Now, of course, it was tuned around the units being naked, but it was still horrible because they didn't consider all the side effects. For example, mana regen while naked is non-existent. Most units don't have no units have their trespasser passive, and a lot of units require that. So it was a train wreck. It was a huge train wreck.
It's like it's a nice idea, but just terrible in execution.
Yeah, think about ALM having foresight and those sort of things, right? Great. So anniversary's tomorrow, guys. Or well, by the time you listen to this, probably today.
Anniversary stream.
Yeah, anniversary stream.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be exciting and 6 years. Holy shit, we've played this game for 6 years. I've played it for 6 years at least.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's been quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit self-indulgent to say this, but when I first started this game, like I didn't have a baby, or I wasn't even married, so it's like kind of weird to look back when I first started playing this game versus like where I am now in life.
Yeah.
That 6 years is a long time. So, the thing is, whatever money we've spent and whatever time we've spent on this game, it's the friends we've made along the way. Yeah.
Very true.
Like, that's a joke, but also that's like genuinely accurate.
Yeah. No, I think it is because like it's the community that I think keeps a lot of us together. Except you, Trap. Fuck you, Trap. There's a just kidding. This is just genuine sense of why we still play this game is because of the people that we meet on quotations and talk with on a daily basis. So
for sure, if the game was like a single player game, well, meaning single player as in like I played it on my own and didn't talk to people about it, I would have probably not still be playing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, for sure.
You play for the memes now. You play for Nexus. You play it for Mango. You play for, like all these stupid people that you play for. This is who you play for.
Wow, let's just call them out.
And that sweet new funding.
All right, is there anything else that we want to add? Oh, you know what?
I think we're
one last thing. I think
Oh?
Sidious Slime said that this would be his last time in involvement with data mining after the anniversary. So I think there goes to have to be a huge shout out to Slime for keeping the wiki up to date this whole time. I mean,
yeah, he has done
he has done
work over the years.
Untold amounts of work, and not just Slime, right? Like there's other people in the wiki, like Fencer and Cotton used to do in the beginning, but like there's a lot of people in the wiki that kept it up for all these years, but now we've come to a point where the original people don't play anymore, which is completely understandable, and they don't want to spend the same amount of time, keeping up with. And same with Ligard, right? I don't think Ligard really updates his software.
He hasn't played for like a good couple of years at this point, I think, and not really much other than the weekly data updates happening these days, but still amazing that it carries on at all.
So it's a huge shout out to all of them. Yeah, go for it, Sinzar.
I just will say, there are still people doing the wiki. For example, like Rayhan and you and probably others that I'm forgetting. They're still doing the updates daily. But as far as like but as far as like unit data mining, it's pretty much just been Sidious.
Yeah. And
But yeah, hopefully as he leaves, he'll make those tools available for someone else to pick up and continue with.
He has been
such an important
MVP
resource
of his like GLEX banners every time in globals. So thank you, Slime, for everything you've done until now. So hopefully we'll see you again in a better game than this.
Dear. Happy anniversary.
Oof.